What's the score for Everton versus Leeds in the half-5 kickoff tonight? I am joined as ever by Matt Jones, and the team news has just landed. And I've got to say, I'm absolutely made up because it looks like Tom is going to be right wing back. I've been petitioning for this for so long. So the team, Matt, is Pickford. I'm guessing Holgate, Keane, and Godfrey as a back three.
Yes.
Davis right wing back, a Wobie left wing back, which slightly terrifies me. Decore, Allen.
Centre mids,
yeah, and then Rodriguez for Charlton, Calvert-Lewin up front.
Yeah. Also interesting, mate, that there's no Kenny or Nkunku on the bench at all. So the bench is Del, Sigurdsson, Mina, Tosin, Bernard, Gomez.
A horrible bench, that, isn't it?
And Lossell.
Jesus.
So, interesting. It's Lossell, not Olsen, actually.
Oh, God, yeah. That's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a weird one, that.
Going on at that club, it's mad.
But do you feel vindicated that Tom Davies is finally playing right wing back after you've lobbied for this moment for so long?
Do you know what? He's the hero we need at right back, I'm telling you. This is the start of something special. This is Tom Davies getting in the first team forever now. Seamus Coleman won't get a look in. Tom Davies is going to play that well now and keep him off the team. It's a natural progression. I don't think he's ever going to be a centre mid. I don't think he's got enough about his game. Stick him at right back. It's dead easy to play right back anyway.
Well, what do you reckon of that then? Anyway, all seriousness, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
It is odd. Iwobi at left wing back. I mean, I said just before we came on, I don't really want to see Delph there, but I think I'd sooner see a left-footed player playing at left wing back than a right-footed one. It's not like when you're playing an attacking position and you can swap sides and cut in. I think it does help if a full-back or wing-back is left-footed. That said, I played left wing-back in the Birkenhead Sunday League for years and I'm right-footed. Never did us any harm. Division 6, know what I'd hit it.
You know what? I think the worry for me there is there's two lads playing like effectively on their own out wide. Who they're not even full-backs, never mind wing-backs. And they attack a lot down the flanks, don't they? They overload those areas of the pitch. So you're going to have Davis, whether he's playing right wing-back or left wing-back, who's struggling to find his position. The same thing's going to happen with Iwobi on the other side. It looks like he's going to be moved position again this week.
Yeah,
that is a little bit, don't want to be negative before we even kick a ball here, but that's a worry, because it feels like there's going to be a lot of gaps to plug on both of those sides. And it'd be a hard job if Coleman and Dini were playing in those positions, because like we've seen already this year, Rodriguez isn't going to get back and help too often. And it just worries me if they focus their attacks and are intense and inventive in the way they move the ball down the flanks, then it could be a tough afternoon for those two lads in the wide areas.
Yeah, and it's playing players effectively out of position. Now you want to keep that to a minimum, don't you? Really, in any lineup, you want to play as many players in the right positions as you can. Obviously, needs must at the minute because we're leaking goals all over the shop, and we've all our left backs are injured. It's disappointing, obviously, that Nkunku's not in. I can't really see why he's done that. If he's sticking a woke there and not even putting him on the bench, it's a bit mad. But yeah, it does worry me that because there's not really going to be much support from the midfield for the full-backs. It's a back five, essentially, isn't it? So you'd expect your two wide centre-backs to cover the full-back positions and help out the wing-back. The problem with that is they can then get pulled out of position dead easily. They've got to be on the game today and all move across as one to the left or the right. If there's any gaps between them, they've got players who can nip in there. And that's how this system breaks down. And that's what we can't afford to do, really.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. So do you want to hear their team? Meslier in goal, Ayling, Koch, Cooper, Dallas, Phillips, Click, Rafinha, Alioski, Harrison, Bamford. I think that's the thing with Leeds. I don't think many people know their individual players.
No,
what they're about. It's more about the team and the manager, isn't it? I think they're probably more of a homogenous group as opposed to individual players more than any other side in the league.
Yeah, it is really, isn't it? I think I was listening to your match preview. Kind of comparing it to us, and basically Leeds got it wrong for years with the manager, and then he just said, right, we're going to throw everything into a top name manager, and they got him, and it's working for them now. But he's the focus of the team, isn't he? He's the main focal point of that whole group, and as you say, it is just like it's a Leeds team. I know they were overhyped when they got promoted anyway. It was like they were the biggest club on the planet coming back up into the Premier League. But I was surprised to learn this season that they've already lost 4 games and conceded 4 in 3 of them. So, there's plenty of opportunity for us to get at them there. Have you watched them much this season? I haven't seen any of them. I've just seen the results. Like,
Watched them against Arsenal last week, and watched them against Leicester, and they lost 4-1 as well. And yeah, I think they're just a team that are sort of going to accept that you're going to create chances against them, but back themselves to create more chances and take more chances against you. And yeah, it's. I think it's going to be tested in that regard. I think that I've said all week, the thing that worries me about them is not necessarily. I think when you look at the team and go, bloody hell, he's really good. It's just the intensity they play with as a group. And for a team like us who struggle passing the ball, we struggled passing the ball around against Fulham last week when they hardly pressed us at all.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, maybe that just encourages us to knock it over the top a little bit more. Richarlison and Don can get onto it a little bit, and we can, we can exploit them in that way. Because I think if we try and play through them, I don't think we've got the players who are comfortable enough on the ball or intelligent enough on the ball to get through that press. So maybe just go a little bit direct at times today. Might mean that we're in the game as much, but just get it up to Dom, get flick-offs and just get flicks from him and play off them. And then you're beating that press. So maybe just one of them going back to the big Sam days and launching it upfield a few times today. Because it's going to be, if we're doing those stupid little goal kicks where Pickford rolls it out to one of the centre backs and we try and play around.
Yeah, it makes no sense, does it?
Warming all over us, aren't they?
Yeah, if you're playing against a team that can keep that intensity for 90 minutes, and I've seen a lot of people sort of increasingly saying, "Is our team fit enough?" And I don't think we're going to be as fit as Leeds, unfortunately. I don't think we've got the ability to press, but for the entirety of a game, probably not even half a game, and that's the worry for me. We need to get through the first half, score as many goals as we can, because I think they're going to come on strong second half.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to have it out of sight by then if we could. I don't think we will. But yeah, I think the second half worries me. I remember before Ancelotti got the job and we were talking about him, and we mentioned the drop-off in fitness between Guardiola and Ancelotti at Bayern Munich. And I mean, we weren't the fittest team in the world to start with anyway, but that is looking like a bit of a concern for me, that we haven't got the intensity that maybe we need. I don't know. I'm just being really picky. I'm just a little bit worried about the fitness elements in this one.
Yeah, and it's one of them. I think you just got to be canny against these, because I don't think there's any team in the league really who'll be able to match them in terms of just pure fitness. If every squad in the Premier League did the league test, then you'd imagine Leeds would probably win it by a mile, wouldn't they? But Palace beat them 4-0, was it, or 4-1?
4-1, yeah. So
Leicester scored 4 against them. As you mentioned, Big Red scored 4 against them. There are opportunities if you play the right way, and some teams will try and play the right way against them by going at them. Others who may not have as good players will try and sit in at them on the break, like Palace did. I think whatever way you go, there's going to be opportunities. It's just about, they're just always on you. They're always going to be in your face. And like you said, mate, I think if Everton get 2 goals ahead in this game, there can't be any taking the foot off the gas like there was against Fulham, because these will sense blood and they'll go for you. But there'll be opportunities for us in this one. It's just imperative that we take them. Listen, we've got the top scorer in the league at the top end of the pitch. Richarlison's back. We're back at home. These lads who've been away on international duty have had a full week's rest. So there is a lot of positives in that sense from an attacking point of view. It's just that defence and the wing backs where you've got to be a little bit worried, I'd say.
Yeah, I was thinking that, on the plus side, we've had a week with this system down at Fulham. We obviously worked on it in training this week, but then you look at it and there's only 2 of that back 4 who were playing today in the positions that they played in. So it's kind of like resetting with another set of players and doing the same system. Obviously, they've been working on it all week, but Luca Dean missing the game and missing the next 2 months possibly. That's just going to be massive, isn't it? And I think that we want to see him come. Could get his chance.
Yeah, that back 3 is going to be rejigged again, mate, isn't it? You'd imagine the Keane will come in as the middle of the 3. Holgate will go to the left, Godfrey will go to the right. So there's going to be changes there again. So
yeah,
Iwobi is potentially going to go to the other side. So it's not going to be settled by any means, is it? Just, we've had some comments from some of our friends here on the chat box. Dave Downey said Leeds are 3-1. Buy yourself some money.
Wait till you get today's score prediction.
Dina said, Kate Riley James said, Dina missing is a game is a worry. 2-3 months out could be catastrophic for us. Yeah, I agree, mate. When you look at that, Dave said Bamford is really good, as has Costa. Yeah, well, Costa's on the bench. Bamford's think is a little bit hit and miss, isn't he? He's one of those players that sometimes looks brilliant, sometimes doesn't look quite as good. But Costa's on the bench today. But yeah, I don't know, mate. Just those wide areas worry me. But I think we'll score goals. So just feels like it's got all the makings of a shootout. This, I think.
Yeah, I think it has. I've got a stat on Bamford actually. Patrick Bamford can match Thierry Henry's record of scoring in a side's first 5 away matches of a Premier League season.
Oh no!
So lump your mortgage on him scoring then.
Put the hex on us there. Yeah, he's good to be fair, hasn't he? He's just one of those players that you look at and think, oh, he's never going to make it in the top flight, and it just shows what a really good manager can do for players that everybody else is ready to write off. His left foot's great, isn't he? You let him cut inside and shoot. He's really dangerous, and he's going to find space, you'd imagine, in that back three today. So, yeah, I think this is all about us scoring the chances we get, because I think we're going to concede goals today, but just make sure we.
Yeah, as we said at the start, we can get at them. Other teams have got at them. Palace got at them. And I imagine Palace hit them quickly on the break with the players they've got up front. We can effectively do the same with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. Good news as far as stats go. It's not a good ground for Leeds. Everton unbeaten in the 12 Premier League home matches against Leeds and have kept a clean sheet in 8 of the last 10. You've not actually beaten us in the league since December 2001. And the last time you beat us at home was the opening day of the 1991 season. When he beat us 3-2, that was Big Nev's post sit-in at half-time. So it's not, if this was flipped, and it was for years, because I don't think we won at Ellen Road for 50 years.
Yeah.
Rooney scored that goal. You do go into these games thinking, don't you? Oh, this isn't a good place for us, even though they've not been in the league for 14 years or something mad.
Yeah.
It's still one of those things where it seems to have an effect on teams, doesn't it? It's not a good place for them to go. So
yeah, it's hard to think of these like this, isn't it? Because it's just like I said, they are so different to what they were when when we last played them. They had people like Harry Kewell, that is that sort of side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's but these things happen, don't they? It's just sometimes results get under the skin of a football club and stuff like that, but just feels like one of them for them. Whereas there's been enough water under the bridge and enough change at the football club that I don't think it'll mean anything. I think, and they just play every game in the same way, don't they? As well, I think they approach every game in the same manner.
Yeah,
being fit for them is a big boost for them as well. He's been really good for them in midfield. I think he had that injury, didn't he? And
I was hoping last week he was going to be out.
Yeah, he got a big knock, didn't he, last week? But came on and finished. He's been really good. He's like a playmaker for them, but he goes and presses the ball and wins it back as well. So we need to make sure we're on him. But yeah, the midfield's going to be interesting as well. I mean, Alan and Decore in there playing as a 2. They haven't got. Leeds will probably play 3 in there. I think they're pretty much 4-3-3 or 4-1-5 sometimes, don't they? So they're going to have the extra man in midfield as well. So it feels like one of them where you might have to sit in and just try and play on the break. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Another big day for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Every game is now, isn't it? So he scored 10 goals in 9 matches. Obviously, only Les Ferdinand scored more than 10 in his side's first 10 Premier League matches in a season. 13 in 95, 96. I actually looked at his opening games in that season, but imagine 10 of those 13 was somehow against us.
At least one of them would have been, surely.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, it's about sort of doing what we did in the first half last week, isn't it? And getting the ball to him in the box early. And getting bodies in the box. We need to have people lining up to take these shots, because we've seen as we fade out of games, we don't get the ball up to Calvert-Lewin enough. And when we do, he's isolated on his own. We need to not lose our heads and lose our shape as much, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what another worry about this. Sorry, being dead negative here, aren't I? About this setup,
it's hard not to be, because I think it's going to be a really hard. It's got the potential to be a really hard game for us, hasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what to look on the downside of it, really.
But because last week you think about what were Calvert-Lewin's main sources of deliveries into the box? Yeah, was the first one. Right, he's not there. What was the second? Iwobi on the right hand side. All right, but it looks like he's probably going to play on the left today. And getting on the left hand side is not really, and getting across into the box is not his game at all. He's going to be looking to cut in and stuff like that. And then you go, all right, where's the next one coming from? And you sort of just left. You know, Tom Davis if he's playing right wing back, he's not going to get down the right hand side and whip in picturesque swerving crosses into the boxes.
You never know.
Tom's got his strengths, he's got his weaknesses, but that is not one of his strengths. That's not what he's going to do in this game. So yeah, it's a little bit of a worry. That I think there'll be a bigger onus on Rodriguez. I think with that in mind, maybe to just try and float into wide positions and get deliveries into the box with that in mind. Richarlison as well. He might have to do a little bit of that, but in terms of cross into the box, I don't think we'll see as many as we saw last week, certainly, because the two lads who were doing it last week, one's not on the pitch and the other one's moved position.
Yeah, as you say, it's going to be difficult for Iwobi to get anything into the box sort of as a naturally left-sided player would. He's going to be going inside and playing balls through more than anything. Unless he's got a wonderful left foot and we've just not seen it.
Well, especially as well, because he's not usually when he plays on the left side, if he did that, you could have them running on the outside, taking the man away, and you might be able to get it out and put it into the box. But because there's going to be nobody going up the outside of him, it's just going to be in one-on-one. And, he's not got the pace really to beat a man like that, has he? It's more like I think stuff. So
I think the benefit of this system, it does potentially free up Rodriguez to just do what he wants. He can drift across that front line and sort of play sitting anywhere. So I think it's going to be about getting the ball to him again. But it becomes quite an easy thing to snuff out, that doesn't it? Particularly if they've got three in the middle to our two. They can just outnumber us. Just stick on them and, we'll see. I don't know.
It's like one of those games for him. Sorry, just quickly. It feels like one of those games for him where you'll either just be smothered by the intensity of it and won't get a kick, or his quality will just allow him to elevate above all that. And, it'll be a bit of a mad game full of ping pong footy and tackles and all that sort of thing. And he'll just be sort of coasting above it with his nice little touches and stuff like that. You obviously hope it's the latter, but they're not thick, are they? We saw last week that Everton's best spell in the game for those 20 minutes before our time, with the 20 minutes where he was on the ball more than any other point in the game. So they'll try and crowd him out. They'll try and kick him. They'll try and keep the ball away from him. Just up to us to try and find a way of getting the ball to him as much as possible. But it's going to be difficult if we're just losing it in the press all the time or knocking it long. But you've got to find a way. And teams that are going to finish in the top 6 this season will find a way to combat Leeds, and it's up to us to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Big Red got the help of 2 penalties. In that one, we've got Chris Kavanagh as the ref today, which is so enough said about that. Let's move on to some score predictions. I got a load in today because I asked the team group as well. Ed McCosh said 3-2 to Lost Toffees. We'll go 3-0 up, a la Newcastle 2013. I don't think he could handle that again. It's nice at the end, but
do you know what? It was all right that game because Kabay scored right at the end of stoppage time, didn't he? So you sort of knew that it was going to be okay. But his goal was amazing that night, Kabay, wasn't it? Remember?
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was a funny player, then, wasn't he?
Yeah, little gobshite, but it's hard to
We'll turn it on. Said 3-1 to the Walton White Sox.
Yeah.
Hi Bailey. That's just what. Darren said 2-1 DCL and James. Matt Flusk 5-0. Kegger with 2.
Ooh.
Bring that on. Adam Jones, I said 5-2. Ryan said 4-3. Jack said 4-2. Laura said 2-2. Hannah Farrell said 2-2. And Dave Downey said 4-1 to Leeds.
Terrible, Dave.
He's lashing on at that 3-1 bet, isn't he?
He'll be made up when we get beat tonight, won't he? Because he's doing post match tonight, so he'll be able to come on here and go, I told you all. I did tell you.
He loves all that, doesn't he, Dave?
He loves.
Hang into that.
Originally, I think, in that regard.
Interesting from these scores. I think the lowest amount of goals is 3. Darren said 2-1. Everyone else has gone for 4 or more goals in the game, and it does feel like it's going to be that, doesn't it? What do you reckon?
3-2 to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be like a mad game where we go 1-0 up, they get it back to 2-1, then we win 3-2, something like that. I just think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2, I think.
I can see them pulverising us out wide, but us scoring on the break a few times, maybe from the odd set piece. So, bit of one of them back and forth, but if we're in a back and forth game at the moment, you've got to back us with Calvert-Lewin up front and with Rodriguez on the side. So, yeah, fingers crossed it's that, and we're all very happy.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I am bracing myself for a horrible second half, though. Really am. Right, we'll do our own match pre-match preparations now. It kicks off in a few minutes.
Just lying down in the fetal position for 40 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah. So you're back on here with Dave, Ryan.
I think Rob's put his name forward as well.
That's spanning the continents. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Worldwide toffees.
Yeah, love it. Right, cheers for that, Matt. Everyone enjoy the game. Hopefully the toffees